Where Stephen Ames Smith ranks in political poll, at least some potential voters are buying what Stephen Ames Smith is selling. In a McLaughlin and Associates poll, which asked thinking ahead to the 2028 Democratic primary election for president, if that election were held today among the following candidates, for whom would you vote? Smith earned 2% of the vote among the 414 people polled. Former Vice President and 2024 Democratic nominee Kamala Harris led the way with 33% and was the only potential candidate to crack double digits. Behind Harris were former United States Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg, 9%, California Governor Gavin Newsom, 7%, U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, 6%, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, 3%, Minnesota Governor, and 2024 Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz, 3%, and Smith, 2%. Smith took notice of his placement. He was not the only one. Several people noted the long-time ESPN personality's place on the poll, which triggered a variety of reactions. Of course, this poll, and pretty much all polls regarding the 2028 presidential election, come with some caveats. One is that we're still 3 years away from the primary season and nearly 4 years away from the 2028 presidential election. Two, because of that, there are very few true candidates right now. There are several potential options, but we don't usually see people start to think about running until after the midterms. That said, while 2% of 414 people is hardly a huge number, it works out to 8 or 9 people. Depending on whether the poll rounded up or down, it's notable how few candidates have much of a following. And it's not as though Smith has been apolitical. He's been quite vocal about America's current political landscape, and has not been shy about calling the Democrats out for what he sees as shortcomings. He's also said previously that he'd consider running. We're a long way from seeing Stephen Ames Smith as being a Democrat candidate. We're even further from him being the party's nominee, and even further from him setting up shop in the Oval Office. But he has at least some interest and a potential foothold. So, while it's not likely, it's not a complete fantasy either. The Post poll shows that 2% of voters favor Stephen Ames Smith as Democrats' 2028 nominee, appeared first on Awful announcing.